Well, congratulations. Let's get this on the road. It looks to me like we have a Monster Energy Yamaha Star Racing podium along with the 100%. So you guys made some sponsors happy. And no question, you made, Hayden, you made yourself happy today winning your first race. So tell us your first race. We have a fan question also. What was going through your mind on the last lap of that race, knowing that you had the overall if you stayed up on two wheels?
Oh yeah, definitely sweet to get my first overall at RedBud, and man, it needed to happen. We needed to put American back on top, and we were able to do that at RedBud in front of the fans. Actually, 3 Americans: Levi, Justin, podium sweep with the Star guys. So that's sick. And yeah, last lap I was just thinking I have to hit the leap and do a fist bump for the crowd, so did it.
Yeah, it was awesome. Levi, the hairdo. I watched you walk in from the rental car paddock today with the red, white, and blue hair, Independence Day weekend. So you had to go full send here, and second moto was quite impressive. So tell us about the hair and what your thought was on the second moto getting that win.
Yeah, no, after the first one I was pretty disappointed because I was like, damn, I didn't do my hair for nothing. So I got it to a good start and got a good moto win in the second one. So yeah, no, I was stoked, and I just wanted to do something different, bring some personality into the sport, and yeah, just have some fun.
Very good. Justin, on the podium, had a tough crash. Obviously, we all know about the one at High Point. Had the week off to kind of recover. What did you do to get back? And I know you said you were a little bit sore before today, but to rebound and still be up on the podium, you have to be a little pleased with that.
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, I don't think I would have raced if we didn't have the weekend off. So that did me wonders, and yeah, just got back on the bike Tuesday and kind of felt everything out, and everything felt okay. So yeah, I'm still dealing with some soreness, but I think we all are. So I'm just glad to be okay and glad to be back racing. I only missed one round, but it's not fun watching from the hospital bed, that's for sure. So yeah, just glad to be back in the mix, and yeah, hopefully we can build on this.
Well, Hayden, how soon did you know that the series point leader was heading to the mobile medical unit? Did you know Hunter went down the first corner and that he was completely out of the moto?
No, that's like, I feel like that would be like a team thing. Wouldn't want to tell you that during the race because it might go through your head or something. But yeah, I mean, did the whole race, and I knew from the tabletop I could see who was behind me, and there wasn't a Husky or a Honda, and those were the guys that were on the podium with me in the first rounds or the first moto. So and I was like, dang, this is my overall to win, and I just got to fight through it. So we did that, and yeah, then they told me after, but it's a brutal sport. You got to be consistent, and you gotta have that dog in you.
Well, I mean, it's a little bit of a reset. You're down to 11 points behind. Exactly. You're down to 11 points behind. So I mean, it's got to be refreshing that you feel like now you have a little better chance of possibly bringing home a championship if Hunter's not 100% at the next race in Southwick. And have you ever raced at Southwick in your career at all, in minis or anything? Have you ever raced Southwick?
Yeah, I have raced Southwick. We did last year for the tour that I did, and raced all the national tracks to get used to them. There was a few I wasn't able to do, but Southwick was one that I loved. It's a good track, and you hang it out there, and it's a sick track.
How's your track? How do you like, Levi, how is Southwick for you on that track?
I love that place. Last year was pretty good, so yeah, I like it.
Very good. So Justin, any special you're going to do this week? Are you going to train a little, ride a little less, or just try to get your body to heal so you're completely, obviously you have a lot of base to draw off of. You don't have to train your brains out this week. Are you planning on taking it a little bit easier this week, getting ready for Southwick?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how I held up. I felt like I fought hard today, and I really didn't get tired until late in the second moto, and I hit a wall pretty bad. So I think the fitness is okay. Just got to get the body recovered a little bit more, but we can now start getting back into a normal program, and yeah, I think we'll be fine from here on out. Hopefully we can keep it on two wheels from now.
All right, with Dan Bieber, you for NBC, you have a question?
Yeah. For Hayden, you started counting down to the moto, or to the overall win, as soon as you got that first moto win. You knew you were going to get it, but in your wildest dreams, did you think it'd come this fast?
No, definitely. As a rookie in my first full outdoor season, it's been a little challenging, just trying to adapt quick, because just as like these guys have a lot of experience, and I'm just trying to learn quickly and adapt to these riders. And running up front helps with that a lot, seeing their line choice and seeing how they change throughout the moto. But yeah, basically just yeah, it was good.
And on Jet's old bike, or the bike that he got off of training with Hunter, how much has that sped up your development?
What do you mean?
Training with the Lawrences.
Oh, I don't train with them.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Nah, I train with these guys right here. Give these guys a smoke at the farm every day.
Levi, it's the best finish of the season and your second podium in the last 3 rounds. You ended the Supercross season with 3 podiums in the last 4. Does it feel like you're reclaiming the momentum that you had at the end of the indoor season?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really compare the two too much. They're pretty different for me, but yeah, I mean, I just got to work on the starts a little bit more, and I think I should be up here more. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the rest of them. The tracks we're coming, or the tracks we're going to soon, I really enjoy. So yeah, I definitely think I'll do my best to keep the momentum going and be up here every weekend.
Justin, yeah, you missed 1 round, but this was still your 3rd straight podium. Does it feel like you're making, and you made up some ground on RJ today, does it feel like you're closing the competitive gap on the points leaders?
Losing 50 points last weekend? No. I'm quite a bit out of it, but the goal for me is to just do the best I can, and that's winning. So, yeah, we're going to have to start clicking off Moto wins, and I think we can be there. Just, yeah, had a tough few weeks, and just trying to build myself back from that.
Cool.
One question back to the fan question that came in on social media there. They wanted to know, the riders, and we can start with you, Hayden. Do you train any differently off of the motorcycle for outdoors versus indoors? That's off the motorcycle.
No, I mean, you obviously don't want to give too much of the training away like over the internet, but yeah, it's relative to basically the same. You don't really change it up much. Obviously, you're on an outdoor track though, and it's doing outdoor motos is a little more more work on the body. So there's obviously a little things you have to change up, but I mean it's fairly the same.
Well, you guys are obviously doing something right down there in Tallahassee.
Hey guys, Mitch Kendrick. Hayden, just talk about the Moto Combine. Last year you did that, and then you've come a long way since then with Supercross, full-time pro. Just talk about that experience last year and how that benefited you now today, racing here pro.
Yeah, the Moto Combine was a big step for last year. I was able to see some of these tracks as well doing that, and you're doing those 30-minute motos. You're getting used to what a pro outdoor national would be, and you're racing some fast guys, factory guys, amateurs. So it's definitely good. It's a good stepping stone to go up to pros.
And obviously the fan base here, everybody's cheering, everybody's partying. To be an American, to get up there to win, just how extra special is that win? Obviously it's huge for your career, but just talk about it being here the 4th of July weekend. Just talk a little bit about that. Yeah,
definitely getting an American up front for RedBud. It was, we had these Star Boys had to shut down the train eventually, and we were able to this weekend, so that was sick. And get the American flag up there. I was waving that thing for the RedBud fans, and dude, they love it.
And we kind of talked a bit about, I think after the last race, obviously your goals, like you said, over the last 2 years, you've transitioned from Super Mini to 250F, Supercross Futures, right? Supercross, Motocross now. Just talk about how the goalposts have changed over the last couple of months, and obviously, like you said, now you're closer into this championship, and just thinking big picture for Super Motocross. Just talk about how the goals change and maybe how your approach changes and just your outlook and just how that has progressed because you're improving every weekend.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of goals coming into seasons as a rookie where you want to be safe and smart and consistent. So I definitely, in my head, obviously training, you know where you're at, and obviously you want to go perform, you want to get on the podium, but just Supercross-wise, it was like, let's go get top 10 the first round, and I got 4th. So then the goals change a little bit. You know where you're able to ride at, and I mean, now it's time to win motos and get on the podium every round. There's no reason why I shouldn't be if I be smart and consistent, and that's what that's what I'm fighting for if I want to win a championship.
Yeah, and then Levi, you've mentioned the last 2 years pretty much if you can get a start, you can run up front, and you've kind of shown that. Obviously, you mentioned the starts are a little inconsistent. Is it something with do the greats have anything to play with that? Or is there anything you can point out that you specifically need to work on with the starts, like Is it your approach with blocks maybe or anything like that? Just talk a little bit about that and maybe how the metal grates have impacted your starts. Is that part of it as well?
Yeah, I mean, I've never been the greatest starter, but Supercross, they were coming around pretty good. The hardest thing now with the grates is it's really all come down to reaction time now, because if somebody gets an elbow on you, you're kind of screwed. So where before it was more technique with the dirt and how the dirt would change. So really, my starts aren't bad when they're, but I just, like today, I just got pinched off right off the gate, so you can't really do anything. So yeah, but definitely starting up in the top 5, even top 10. I don't know what I was the first one, but it helps, so much, just that track position, you can't give it away.
Yeah, and then real quick, Justin, obviously with losing points last weekend, not being able to race in motos, thinking like big picture for Super Motocross Championship, maybe, is that still in the back of your mind, or can you just talk a little bit about that? Because maybe the Motocross Championship isn't there, but thinking at the end of the season, you still want to be competitive through the end of the year. So just talk a bit about that approach.
Yeah, I think, we don't know what's going to happen, so I'm just going to try to start doing the best I can, which is I want to go out and win, and haven't done that in quite some time now, and I feel like it's there. So, just got to keep doing my best, and I felt like I was close before I crashed, and that was kind of like, a little bump in the road, but want to put that behind me. Starting off with the podium is good. Just, want to be consistent, want to be up front, and want to be battling for these wins. And for now, just taking it race by race, and I think once we get further down the road, we'll know more. But for now, just doing the best I can at each race.
And then for all three of you guys, this is maybe a little bit far ahead, but we're at RedBud. This is where Motocross of Nations was last year. Hypothetically speaking, say you guys would get selected, individually. What would that mean to you if you would be able to select, or if you'd be selected for the Motocross of Nations team? Just go one by one and just explain what that would mean to you.
I'm out. I'm getting married that day.
It's right now the focus is on the pro motocross season and trying to win a championship as a rookie, and that's my goal right now. Motocross Nations is a huge thing, and I gotta earn that spot. But right now, it's just focusing on the pro motocross championship.
I would definitely be interested in doing it. It seems cool, so I don't know, but I'm not. Yeah, I don't really think about it too much.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you guys very much. Congratulations. First win, Star Yamaha podium, and Daxton Bennick, first pro race, he finished 10th. So guys had 4 top 10, and enjoy. And Hayden, you're a graduate of the Combine from last year here. So again, great job, guys, and we'll see you next week, Southwick. Well, congratulations. We'll get this started, and nice podium finish there. So we'll start with you, Jet. Unbelievable start of your season, obviously 10 for 10. Nobody's started off a rookie season and moved out of their class into a rookie season to have 10 for 10 wins in motos and 5 overall. So, your starts you're making it easier on yourself by getting good starts. And when you're riding out there, are you just trying to manage and behind you, or are you just focusing forward?
Yeah, I'm just focusing forward, just focused on trying to hit my marks. That second one, it took me a little bit to try and find my flow, and it was at the worst time trying to find my flow because Dylan was right there. But no, it's been an awesome season so far, and obviously Chase is going to get better. It's his first race back since round 1, so he's obviously hasn't raced in a little while, so he's going to get better and better, and same with Dylan. From the first round to now, I didn't even know Dylan was there at first. I seen the pit bull in the gap. I'm like, we got to step it up. But awesome season so far. Super pumped, and just make sure we just try and keep those starts good, because like you said, it just makes it a lot easier on myself. Just starting up there is a big key of making it a lot easier on yourself. And
Dylan, yourself, a 3-2 for second overall. This is kind of started seeing that Dylan of 2 years ago where you won the championship, and I know you have an all-new bike. Are you starting to get, the week off? Are you already getting comfortable with your motorcycle, and how's your fitness feel? Because it had to feel pretty good to be able to just be on the same straightaway with Jet and know that you were right there.
Yeah, exactly. Like I say, a lot during that season. The new bike, it took us some time to understand the bike, and that week off was good. We use it a lot. We tested a lot, and yeah, obviously it's better. I feel better on the bike. The first moto was not that great. I spent many time behind Masterpool and never find a way to pass him, and lose too much time and energy. And that second moto, obviously I was behind Jet and tried everything I could to try to pass him, but it was still a little better. So yeah, I think there's room to beat him, but yeah, we're gonna have to be perfect, and maybe for sure if we can get a better start than him, that would help us a lot. But yeah, I think we made a big step this weekend, and we're looking for the next few rounds to do a little bit better again.
Okay, and Chase, first race in a while, come back, get on the podium. To do 2-3 as you did, I'm sure you're a little disappointed that you would have liked to got a little better start, and of course you'd like to do a little better, but overall, your fitness, your feeling on the bike, how do you feel?
Yeah, it's definitely good to be back. This race is super special for me, just being only 2 hours from this place, and the fans were yelling the whole track, no matter what position I was in. So that was awesome. Obviously, it wasn't the result that I wanted today. I didn't get great starts and ended up falling over second moto, which is on me, and just got to be better than what I was today. So I knew coming in that I was going to be I got to build back to where I was in Supercross and try and get back to that point. That's the reason I came back, and hopefully we can get there by the end of the year.
Okay, quick question to each of you. This is the first time all of you have used the new old start. This was the original starting line. No, you've rode it before one other time. Okay, so what did you think of the new start, Jet? I mean, this was the original RedBud. Maybe that's why they brought it back for 50th anniversary of the National here, but what did you think of this start versus the other one that you've used?
Personally, I like the other one better. I think that's why they went with the other one, because it was better. But I mean, we'll let it slide for one round. Of going back to, since it's the 50th here, we'll let it slide.
It was a conspiracy, no question about it. And I think they took a little PayPal payments from the other guys to try to figure what they could do there. So this year's tracks, Dylan, what is your thought on this year's track? Do you feel like they're rougher than previous years, or actually do you think they're smoother, just the overall preparation of the tracks?
I think it was good. It was pretty similar to the previous years. No, the track was, it's RedBud. It's one of the favorite track of everyone. Was very good. The new section, I can't say I was liking more than the old one. It was just different. I feel like the Larocco slip was easier. Like I overjump many times, like bad. So for us in 450 was easier. But yeah, just to answer your previous question, the start, I think the people need to look at to watch the second motor of the 250 and see how dangerous it is. Like this start has, like if they change it, there is a reason it was too dangerous, and I think Hunter is not really happy about it today. Yeah?
And Chase, the old new start. You, as a youth, had to have raced the old start quite a few times. And what is your thought for now with the modern 450s and the 250s with so much power, so much speed? What's your thought about the two starts?
If I'm being honest, I didn't like the new start that they put in. That's straight, obviously. It's obviously, I think, safer, but for me, I grew up racing on this one, and it feels more at home. I think, besides for the second 250 moto, I think it was pretty good all day, but I've definitely seen some big crashes there, even in amateur races. It's a pretty fast, high-speed start, and also with that little left-hand chicane. They used to, I think, go up a little bit and then down, which was even worse. But I like it. It feels a little bit more like the old RedBud, but I don't know. I don't really have a preference. It's nice to see it back.
Okay, Jet, lapped riders. You made a comment on the podium about lapped riders. Do you feel the track was a little bit more one line? It made it harder to get around the lapped riders, or what? Because to be perfectly honest, watching the race, I think you made it through the lapped riders maybe a little easier than some of the other riders that you were racing with you. I know Dylan got hung up a couple of times, and so you did masterful job getting through them. But what was your thoughts on just the lap riders and the one-line track?
Oh, I mean, it's just like for me, obviously, we're going fast enough to get around them eventually, but it's like when they see the blue flag, it's like they start going down. It's like a sign to do hot laps all of a sudden. So I don't know if they need to start throwing the blue flags at them or something, but this a lot of the guys were good. There's obviously every now and then you'll have a good lap, like a lapper who get out of the way and see it. So it's not to all of them, but there's those few guys who just have no awareness around and they don't know that there's another race going on besides theirs. So I mean, I almost feel like there should be a rule at some point in time, if you're how many seconds down, you get lapped and almost getting lapped again, you almost get pulled off, because at that point it's just dangerous you're going that slow. So but yeah, I mean, it was just a pain because yes, sometimes it creates good racing, but also it screws over the one guy because he's doing really good and hitting his marks, but then because a lapper comes in and ends up messing him and get tangled up. I mean, it's very easy to get tangled up with these guys because they're struggling, obviously. So it's just a bit of a struggle because obviously, yeah, us three and obviously the rest of the top 5 to 10 guys are going a lot faster than those guys. So I mean, and it's like a lot of laps. So for us, it gets dangerous.
And Dylan, you talk about, did you feel like you had some struggles getting through lap riders? I know one time you had to check up on Larocco's leap. I saw that, and it seemed like you lost a couple of seconds when that happened. But overall, you were able to make your way through them, or were you having issues too?
Yeah, for sure. That lap when I couldn't jump the Larocco's leap cost me a few seconds, so that was a bummer. But yeah, that's racing. They are part of the race. But yeah, I mean, sometimes some guys do respect the blue flag, some a little less. I know it's never an easy situation for everyone, but it wasn't that bad today for me, unless that time on the Larocco's leap, for sure, I was pretty mad.
Okay, one more fan question, and I'll hand it off to Dan from NBC. So one of the fans asked if each one of your riders, quickly, do you have a pre-race ritual or any sort of superstition? I mean, as silly as it sounds, I remembered a rider back in my era. If he won a certain race, he'd wash, but wear the same underwear the next race and do it over and over until he lost. I mean, do you have any sort of rituals or any superstitions that you have with your races? And we'll start with Chase and work our way to the left.
I think when I was younger, maybe a little bit more, but now we race so much, it's hard to have one, so not really.
Okay, how about you, Jet? Favorite socks? Anything?
No, not really. I mean, I just have my same thing every time before I do my start. I'll bang my head twice and then kind of yell. So, but besides that, no, we don't have any crazy cup thing like that.
All right, well, I'll take that as one for sure. Do your head twice and then yell. So that's a pre-race ritual. Go ahead.
No, I don't have anything, but yeah, just my wife the other day, she told me I always put my right gloves first. I didn't even know, like, just been doing this for so many years that you don't even realize that.
Those women, they're always so observant. So here's Dan from NBC.
So, Jet, 10 Moto wins. You now have the sole record for the best start going into a new class. Do records mean anything to you at all? I suspect there are more of them coming down the pike.
No, I think for me, if I'm doing my job right, I guess the records will come. But for me, each weekend, I'm just coming in, just trying to do the best I can each weekend and focus on what I get paid to do and focus on what I need to get done.
And you now have more than one full round's worth of points lead, if that makes sense. And you said you were chilling in Moto 2. You've been so dominant in a lot of these races. Is it just that natural moving on to this bike?
I think my riding style definitely gels pretty decently with this bike, but I mean, we're still learning the bike. It's still, today wasn't the best with a few things on settings, but I mean, the bike looks after us so well with a lot of things, and yeah, I think that obviously helps. But I mean, the second one, I think I had to push a little bit more at the start just because Dylan was there and I didn't have that flow. But I think once once I found my flow, I could go back to like kind of just trying to time things and stuff like that. So it's not always just kind of smooth sailing through the motos. I mean, I still, like when Dylan at the start there, I still had to push a bit.
And for Dylan, you caught Jet for a little bit there. Were you able to find out anything in his riding style that you can exploit in future rounds?
No, honestly, I mean, he was just doing everything right, no mistake. I think that's why I never really got close enough to put an attack, because just no mistake. And yeah, he's been so much in control since the beginning of the season that yeah, he's just more in control than us. Like, we have to push to get close to him, and I think for now it makes a difference for him. But yeah, for sure the day I can be closer to him and pressure him, maybe do a mistake. I hope so. We see that in the next few rounds.
You kept your perfect streak of top fives alive, but this is your third podium. I think it was podium, then just outside podium. Did anything change for the two races that you didn't podium that was different today?
Yeah, just the feeling with the track, the feeling with the bike. Were just race where I was struggled a little more, and yeah, just some race situation I put myself in, like some mistake for me here and here. So yeah, it's just that today. Two good start for sure help a lot, and yeah, when you're out front, you minimize your risk of crashing a start or crashing first few laps, so it helped a lot for sure.
Thank you. Chase, you expressed disappointment with your starts, but is there a silver lining in how well you were able to come up through the field? Is that encouraging for the next couple of rounds?
Yeah, it wasn't really just my starts today that was subpar. I think Moto 1, my riding was not good, and then even Moto 2, I think I was riding better, but still not my expectations and where I know I can be. So I just gotta get back on the horse and try and build a little bit. I didn't obviously get to ride for a few weeks, and then last week I actually had a good week, and just leading up to this I felt good and more like myself, but racing's a lot different. So yeah, it's going to be a build the rest of the season, but I think I know I can I have what it takes to run up front and challenge Jet, so it's going to be an interesting finish to this outdoor series.
Hey guys, Mitch Kendra from Racer X. Jet, you look like you were pushing a second moto, and you mentioned like comfortability and stuff and just kind of finding your flow. You saw a couple bobbles there early, and when Dylan was catching you, can you talk a little bit about like the race management again? Like, we saw you looking back over the jumps. Just talk a bit about, you know, pushing it, but also, you know, staying on two wheels and just that, you know, mindset there.
Yeah, I was obviously trying just to find my pace, and a few times it's got a little bit off balance from just catching a foot peg in the ruts because they were so deep, and you know, I don't really get to see where Dylan is the whole time, so a few times you just get to look back and just to kind of roughly see where he's at, and that's how I feel like it helps me manage a lot. Okay, yeah, that section I can see he's a bit faster, that section I'm a bit faster, so it's just all going towards like where I'm better and where he's better. So but he's a tough competitor. He definitely pushes to the end, so it's hard to try and figure out where you're better and that stuff, but the biggest thing I tried to focus on was just trying to hit my marks and just make sure I just get that flow and start trying to time bump stop and not try to like smash everything. So obviously I'm not as bigger and heavier guy as some of the other lads. So I gotta be a lot smarter because the bike definitely hits, it punches back if I try to push it too much.